All right, everyone. So welcome to Inspire. Happy Sunday. I'm Reverend Amina Bliss, and I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so blessed to be in this company of amazing people. And today we have Reverend Alfreda Lanoix and Jazzmun Nichcala Crayton. And our topic for the month of July is freedom is an inside job. Freedom is an inside job. And I love this topic so much. And I can't wait to hear the conversation today because I know it's going to be amazing. So I want to let you know a couple of announcements. We do have services on Zoom on the second Sunday and the fourth Sunday of the month. Second Sundays, like today, is Reverend Alfreda Lanoix. Fourth Sundays, Reverend Jesse Bruin Haran, our co-founding director. And in the meantime, we are staying on Zoom for now, but we're starting to talk about coming back together. So we'll be bringing that up with you soon. But what a blessing it is that we can actually get together wherever we are. And we know that there's no time and space, and this proves it for us. We are right here together. The energy is real, and it's so powerful to join like this. So thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being a part of this community. I want to thank our Sunday Service Committee and acknowledge them. Not everyone is here today, but we are sending a lot of love to our beloved Garrick Angel, who lost his father yesterday. We're sending out prayers to him and his family, blessing them and just knowing that they are held and taken care of. We want to also acknowledge our Casey Carroll, who's not here today, and Tom Hennessy, Reverend Tom, holding down the fort with me as always. Such a blessing. And if you would like to join this committee, if you have gifts and talents that you'd like to share with Inspire, we'd love to have you. We'd love to welcome you into this. So please send us an email. Let us know what you'd like to contribute, how you'd like to contribute, and we will find a spot for you to participate. So thank you. This community, it is a community. It's not just one person. We need each other to make this thing happen. So thank you, everyone, for contributing in your way. We're really grateful. So we have a blessing for our new guests, and it's really for everyone, but we want to make sure that our new guests feel welcome. And so we just rub our hands together, we get the energy flowing, and we raise them to you. And I'll recite it on behalf of the community. If you know it, if you want to say it at home, please do. We say, welcome to Inspire.
Welcome to Inspire.
We know who you are.
We know who you are.
You are a beautiful and unique way
You
the
are
divine is expressing itself on the planet. We see you, we love you, and we welcome you home. Welcome to Inspire. So we'll get started with our opening meditation and prayer. And so just make yourself comfortable in your seat. Put down anything you might be holding. Allow your arms and legs to be uncrossed and your eyes to gently close. Let's take a deep breath of love and gratitude together. Breathing in love, breathing in gratitude, and just exhaling everything that came before this moment. And another long, slow, deep breath in. And gently let that go. And as we continue to breathe and relax, shedding everything that no longer serves us, breathing in gratitude and strength, love, breathing in freedom, breathing in peace. We just imagine ourselves light-filled. Imagine ourselves feeling peaceful, feeling free. And your imagination has so much power. This is your superpower, and as you believe it, so it is. And so we're just knowing our freedom now. We're knowing our peace now. We're knowing that love is now. And that's all there is. Let's just take a couple of moments in silence, feeling this love, feeling this peace, feeling this freedom, running it through our entire bodies, our whole being, and sharing it and sending out to the world. Mother, Father, God, divine love, all that there is, we are so grateful to come together in community, so grateful to be here, right now, in the power and presence of God, knowing that love is all there is, knowing that God is love and all there is, knowing our divinity, each one of us, an extension of God. So grateful, so thankful for the opportunity to be together, to celebrate, to share this message of love, of peace, of freedom, and of joy. We bless this service. We know that it is perfect. We know that the perfect configurations of souls have come together to share in this moment, to share a blessing, to share love, to share peace. We know that what is meant to be spoken is spoken, shared, heard, and received in love. And we are so grateful because we know that everything is working for our good. Everything is as it should be. Everything is in divine order, even and especially when it feels like it's not. We trust that all is well and everything is working for us. And so we release any fear, worry, or doubt, any anxiety or upset, anything that no longer serves us, that we are ready to move through to transcend. We release it now, placing it on the altar, letting it go, handing it over to spirit, and feeling that freedom of release, feeling the love, the joy, the peace that is our true nature. And so we're just tapping into these qualities of God that are already within us, that are naturally our birthright and our true nature. We're accepting them, we're allowing them, we're expanding them, we're claiming them, and we're sharing them with everyone because we're one with them. In grace and gratitude, we release this word, we allow it to be, and so it is. Amen. I'm grateful now to bring up Reverend Tom Hennessy to share our mission statement. Reverend Tom?
Good morning, everyone. Our mission statement: Inspire is a spiritual community of like-minded souls committed to walking our talk in joyous fellowship by demonstrating the power of love, compassion, and non-judgment every day in every way. Recognizing the divinity of all life, we stand united by actively liberating humanity by healing judgment, fear, and shame within ourselves. Our intention to create world peace, piece by piece. Woohoo! And now it's my great pleasure to welcome a wonderful lady who's been a part of the community for several years. And she's been out, and she's a great person out in the community. So without further ado, I recognize and I welcome Ms. Jazzmun and Crayton.
Thank you, Reverend Tom. I appreciate you. Indeed, greetings unto you and beloved and holy friends. My name is Jazzmun Nichcala Crayton. I was born 2/10/1969 to Elvira and Sunny. And I thank them both for birthing me into this beautiful, amazing universe. Today is a beautiful day. I've been given 5 minutes to convey freedom the best way that I know how. Freedom, the definition, the power or the right to speak, act, or think in the way that you want without hindrance or restraint. Freedom. And I thought, what comes to mind? Freedom 90, George Michael. Free, Denise Williams. Free your mind, In Vogue. Beyonce, Freedom, cut her loose. Free, 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 set me free, or set them free, Sting. Free alternate. Let freedom ring, Martin Luther King. Freedom is a James Baldwin quote. You have to go the way your blood beats. If you don't live the life you have, you won't live some other life. You won't live a life after at all. Over the years, I've had a perplexed relationship with being free. Oftentimes, I would compartmentalize parts of myself to protect my comfort, safety, and freedom. Truly, freedom throughout my life has come at a high price. Looking back over my life, I think to myself, wow, how was I able to move so freely? Then I hear a tender little voice inside say, thank you, Mother, for instilling the presence of God in me. Even still today, I do not fully comprehend nor understand what is taken for me to get this free. Only God's grace and me resonating with the God in me. And to be perfectly honest, this free is not enough free for me. I want more free. When I was asked to talk about freedom, some heroes in the struggle for freedom came to mind, like Harriet Tubman when she said, "If you hear the dogs, keep going. If you see the torches in the woods, keep going. If they're shouting after you, keep going. Don't ever stop if you want a taste of freedom. Keep going." Mr. Frederick Douglass, when he said, if there is no struggle, there is no progress. I also read somewhere where he said, slavery and freedom cannot coexist. The great Nina Simone said, I tell you what freedom is to me, no fear. I felt that at times I used shame and fear as tools to suppress my freedom. I also acknowledge that it has been a motivating force and change for my life, beckoning me to decide to live in the decision to be awakened in God. I'm committed and determined to be free. I pray for unbound freedom daily. I quote this third step prayer often, and I say, God, relieve me of the bondage of self so that I can better do thy will. I believe that there are levels to freedom and that it requires self-evaluation and preservation. I believe that my personal freedom needs to remain open to finding numerous ways to heal. I will continue practicing radical forgiveness, being gentle with myself and others, and releasing that which no longer serves me. Dancing gets me free. Music sets my soul free. Being in the presence of love And knowing that love is all there is so very freeing. My freedom of expression is expressed in me rollerblading at Venice and Santa Monica Beach with the wind blowing on me, taking long walks, inhaling and exhaling as I move about the city of angels, and taking in the surroundings and grounding myself in the land, remembering that my body is a sacred space and my home is my sanctuary. I communicate my wants and desires with conviction and clarity. I take a warrior stance when navigating these systems in place with courage. I'm a shapeshifter. I trust my radiance. I do my best not to let a person, place, or thing impede on my personal power. I resist the urge to take things personally. I lead with love. I study it, practice it, master it. I embrace the unknown, free falling into the magic and wonderment of it all. I'm a native tribal beauty, spirit in spirit, evolving and expanding, compassionate and empathetic. I am free. I truly believe God has a plan for me. I set you free. Stay guided and supported in love. Thank you.
Jazzmun, thank you. That was gorgeous. Thank you so much for sharing and blessing us with that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm now grateful to bring up our beloved Reverend Alfreda Lanoix.
Wow, thank you, Jazzmun. That was amazing. Oh wow. I'm very excited today to talk a little bit about freedom is a inside job. You know, the thing that comes to mind is that no matter what it looks like on the outside, no matter what you've accomplished on the outside, you must be free within in order to be able to accept it, celebrate it, and enjoy it. In other words, you have to listen to your inside voice, that inside voice from within. Something that Jazzmun said when she talked about Harriet Tubman that says, no matter what, in order to obtain freedom, we must keep going. And something else she said is that if you stop, I'm going to have to kill you because you will tell master. And so sometimes in our lives, we want to stop. But in order to obtain freedom, to be able to celebrate, to enjoy who we really are, we must keep going. Freedom is an inside job. It's all about our mindset. What dial is your mind set on? Because some of us are on station 99.2, the victim station. And in order to have freedom, we must change that mindset. Now, in philosophy and religion, freedom is associated with what we call free will. In other words, God says, I want for you what you want for yourself. I'm giving you freedom. I've pretty much done my part. You are here and you have the ability within you to create the world that you choose to live in. Freedom is associated without undue or unjust restraints or enslavement. And it is ideally closely tied to the concept of liberty. Give me liberty or give me death. Because when you want to be free, nothing, no one, or no situation can stop you. You know, I've worked in the field of domestic violence. And let me tell you, when one is tired of the situation that they're in, when one becomes tired of having the same experiences over and over again, when you want to be free from a situation or a person, you will find a way. Only when you are tired of being tired of being tired, and freedom becomes your priority, you will find a way. A person has the freedom to do things that will not, in theory or in practice, prevent them by other forces. Now, what are the forces that would be within that would keep us from being free? Forces such as fear, shame, pain, rejection, and resentment. So the question becomes, are you up to the task to do the work that's needed for you to begin to have your freedom that comes from within? Listen, in order to be free from what's holding you back, you must begin to look at, I'm going to bring 3 points today: our thoughts, our feelings, and our emotions. There's a quote that says, the vacation that we often need is the freedom from our own mind. And I know you've heard me say many times, we have 96, 98,000 thoughts a day. And from those thoughts, we create major experiences, and we make major decisions in our life. So in order to be free, to be able to create a new reality for yourself, you must be able to look at our thoughts, which is what we have taken to be our truth, whether it's true or not. We have to look at our feelings, which show how we live. And that we feel is real, whether or not it is our real reality. If you feel it, it's real for you. But it does not have to be the reality of what is. Feelings are so powerful. As I was studying this, I started looking at what it is and how I feel about different situations, even how I feel about different people, and looking and examining where these feelings were coming from. And also, last but not least, our emotions. And our emotions is how we act out our feelings and our thoughts. You know, for years, I felt, and I know you probably felt it too, we felt that we could not control our feelings. You know, we felt powerless, that whatever we felt, that's what it was, and that we had no power or control to change our feelings. But we do. If we have the mindset that the world is out to get us, and that we can't trust anyone, that's what we reinforce. That's what we create with every thought and every choice in our lives. So it doesn't matter what happens, or it doesn't matter what comes our way, if our mindset is not free and we are still caught up with, the world is out to get me, no one supports me, no one loves me, then guess what? I can love you and love you and love you, and it will not be enough, because you are not free in your mind to begin to accept the love that is given. We've been taught sometimes in our lives, I know coming up for me, I was taught, my mother passed down, life is hard. Life is hard. I don't care what you do, it's a struggle. You're going to have a struggle as a Black woman. You're going to have a struggle as being Black. And so how that would show up in my life is that even though things would happen and I would be successful, I would never enjoy it because of the price that I would pay. And listen, If things came too easy, I would not even give it value or accept it. It needed to be hard. I needed to suffer in order to obtain it. And only then did I give it value. Freedom, the thoughts that were given is life was hard. And so I, in return, made my life hard. Freedom is the ability to live in the moment and choose what's for your highest good in spite of what you see. Being courageous enough to say, does this work for me? In spite of what other people or society has said. When you have that freedom of mind within, when you examine your thoughts and look at where they come from, they said it's not always the thought, but it's the thought behind the thought, that original thought that you took to be your truth that runs your life. And so when you have the courage to stop and say, where is this thought coming from? Is this thought coming from an experience that I had? Or is this thought coming from something that someone has told me? Is this thought coming from religion that was created to hold me back and control me? And then you're able to look at the feeling that surrounds it. Here's the thought. Here's the feeling that is based off the thought. And then here comes the emotion, the way I acted out. But when you have freedom within, you have the ability to stop and question. You do not live life on automatic pilot. You do not accept things for what they are just because that's the way they've been. But you stop and you say, how does this serve me? Some of us have the same old feeling, and in return, we have the same old experience. Same old feeling, same old experience. It can be a new situation, but when you put your same old feelings around it, because you don't have that freedom from within, because you've not tapped into your power to know that you are powerful and that you can create a reality for yourself that will serve you. What you do is new boyfriend, new girlfriend, but the outcome stays the same. I had someone said to me, they were sharing with me, and I said to them, you're the common denominator in all situations. You are the common denominator. Everybody that comes your way can't be that. It's you. So having the courage and the freedom to be able to look inside and say, where am I coming from? Where did this prison of my mind, where did I get this information that I made my truth, that I have built my life off of? Our job, should we accept the mission, will be to uncover where and how we hold ourselves back from living the life we truly want to live. Our job is to take the mission and to look and uncover. It's okay to be driven, but you have to know what's driving me. There are lots of us that have been successful. There's lots of us, we've conquered things, we've obtained things. But did we have the freedom of mind to accept and celebrate and be content with the things that we've accomplished? Because when you don't have the freedom of mind, whether you are homeless or sitting in a $1 million home, if that mind is not free, if that freedom within, the shame, the blame that we've created for our survival, if we've not released it and let it go and accepted the mission, we are still held hostage within ourselves. And it doesn't matter what comes by, and it doesn't matter what we've accomplished, and it doesn't matter who's in our lives. And to live a full life of adventure, to have a life we desire and we deserve, to have the power to create and not depend on other people's thoughts of ourselves is what we call the beginning of freedom. What I often say is that your reality or what you think of me or your opinion of me is not my reality. When you can begin to have that freedom, people are entitled, people have the right, people can do whatever people do, but you also have the right not to allow it and apply it to your life. Everybody is dealing with whatever shortcomings that we have. I cannot afford to allow what you feel and your opinion and what you think about me be so important that it imprisons me and I can't enjoy the fullness of my life. So your opinion of me is truly not my reality. Because in my mind, I'm free and I've accepted all of who I am. We have to look how we feel about a thing, and we have to question, where the hell did that come from? Have you ever questioned your feelings? Where the hell did that come from? A lot of times our feelings, they've come from so many different directions. Our feelings have come from our parents that themselves were broken. And we've taken that and made it our law. And we've tried to live off of it. We've tried to live off of other people's stuff. I know my mother struggled with her sexuality. And because I was free with mine, she tried to put me in bondage. You have to look, where the hell did this feeling come from? And if it came from an experience, then look at the experience and say, well, what did I get from that experience? Let me take what I got from that experience. Because when you can embrace that experience and get what you needed from the experience, then you can change the feeling around it. Some people refuse to go back into a relationship because their heart was broken back in 1962. And they say, I will never love again. They broke my heart. I will never love again. Instead of saying, wow, what part did I play in that? What are the red signs that I ignored and why did I ignore them? Why was I so needy maybe or desperate or so lonely that I ignored that this was not good for me? What did I get from that? That's how you begin to free your mind and you open up that channel and you welcome love again in your life. Where the hell did that come from? Why am I feeling that way? Because I promise you, when you ask the question, the answer will show up if you're open to accepting the truth. Your feelings. And then after your feelings that you've made true, then you act out with your emotions. And then you don't trust yourself. You're scared because you don't know your capability. because you're compromising and you're putting yourself in very difficult and very scary and very risky situations, because you don't have the freedom, the mindset to know I am valuable. I am created perfect in God's love. I accept all of who I am, everything about me. I accept, I deserve. Because once your feelings change about yourself, then the way you act, how open you become. You're not afraid to be vulnerable. You're not afraid to give of yourself. You're not afraid for a new adventure, because you know it's just that. It's simply an adventure. But if your mindset is the world is out to get me, that the color of my skin is going to hold me back, that being a woman or being a man, but oh, when you have the freedom to know all the power that I need to be Reverend Frida is within me, then you have the freedom to create a reality that brings you contentment, joy, and peace. What are your barriers? What takes away your freedom? What takes away? If you're not feeling free today, if you don't have the freedom from within, and you are living externally, and your freedom is dependent on somebody giving it to you, you will never be free. If your freedom depends on somebody giving it to you, if your freedom depends on somebody sanctioning you, if your freedom depends on somebody appreciating you, if your freedom depends on somebody loving you, you will never be free. You will be held captive for the rest of your life. If your freedom depends on approval, still trying to get mom to approve of you or dad to accept you, if your freedom depends on finding your father or who was my father or why didn't he love me, if your freedom depends on the government really being a government of the people, and we know that this is capitalism, if your freedom depends on anything outside of you, you're not going to be free. There was a movie that says, give us free. No, they're not going to give you free. Free is your mindset. Free is from within. Free is with being able to withstand no matter what the situation may be, because you understand and you know this too shall pass. Being free to be. Ooh, I'm just hopping around. I'm sorry, but I'm excited about this thing called freedom. Free your mind. Set yourself free. What are your barriers? Sometimes our barriers are entitlement. We expect others to give us more than we've given ourselves. Entitlement. We expect the world to treat us better than we've treated ourselves. You're not going to be free. Sometimes our freedom is self-righteousness, the need to be right at all costs. And when we are self-righteous, it's because we're judgmental. And when we are judgmental, it's because we have not accepted all of who we are. Because, honey, those with no fault, you throw the first stone. And some of us cannot pick up dust. Ooh, Reverend Frida, I said it. Some of us can't kick up dust. You know what's in your closet. What keeps us from being free is expectations. I expected my son to be a doctor. I expected my son to be a lawyer. I mean, you know, every mother, my expectations. And when it did not fall through, I was disappointed. And I was being held hostage in my mind with guilt that, oh my God, what type of mother was I? I didn't give enough. I didn't do enough. You did the best that you could do. Free yourself. His life belonged to him. I had to realize that we were both breathing off the same oxygen tank because I wasn't going to let him go because my expectations was different than his. I said, I want you to be, and he said, I don't want to be. And I became free when I realized, stop judging and accept his life is his life. Stop putting your expectations on others. Listen, stop putting your damn expectations on yourself. Ooh, Reverend Frida. Because every time you put your expectations on something, you set yourself up for disappointment. And then you cannot be free. Woo! You do your part. You study. You apply yourself. And the rest is up to the universe. Who you trusting? Because when you know that the universe only says yes, when you know that the universe is working for your highest good at all times, when you know that the universe is supporting you no matter what you've done, then you can surrender and let go. What keeps us away from our freedom? Our long-term survival of self. Our long-term survival of self. We know how to survive. We got a PhD in survival. But do we know how to live and let go and let the universe and celebrate who we are? The more you celebrate, the more comes your way. Gratitude attracts more things for you to be grateful about. But if you want to stay in survival mode, oh, I don't know how I'm going to make it over. Oh, my soul looks back and wonder how I made it through. Your soul does not wonder. Your soul knows its purpose. Your soul knows what we came here to do. It's you trying to renege off of what it is you came here to do. Your soul knows. You know. You know that feeling you get of fulfillment and contentment when you're giving it? I'm on my purpose right now because as I'm sharing with you, my soul is rejoicing because this is what I came here to do. And let me tell you, when you're on purpose, it doesn't matter whether your rent is paid. It doesn't matter whether your heart is broken or not broken. It doesn't matter how much money you got in the bank or don't have in the bank. Your soul is completely not connected with that external stuff. Your soul said, you know, come on now. You know what we came here to do. It's that whisper. You know what we came here to do? You're trying to do something different. You said that when you come, that this is what you wanted to bring. And because of that, you have everything you need within you in order for you to manifest that you came to bring. I thought because I'm a woman, I might not be able to bring it. So don't care the package. I thought because I was gay, people are not going to want to hear me because I'm a lesbian. They're going to think I'm wrong. I don't want to hear that. I thought because I had a child out of wedlock and society is going to look down on me. Because it knows the freedom What takes away our freedom? The inability to forgive. And Jazzmun said radical forgiveness. And let me tell you, radical forgiveness is understanding. This is a big one. Everybody's not going to get it, and I'm okay with that. Radical forgiveness is when you realize there's nothing to forgive. Then, my darling, you are free. Freedom. Oh, yeah. It's the inside job. Yeah. Wherever you are is where you're choosing to be. You're creating your own reality. What are the things that are holding you in prison in your mind? They show up in your reality. If you're not living this life of adventure and contentment and joy, it's because there are things in your mind that are holding you hostage, holding you in bondage. They won't let you be free because you've not questioned them. Be aware, live consciously, and be aware of your feelings and how they serve you. God bless you. I hope you felt that. Thank you.
Oh, yes. We felt it, Reverend Frida. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for knowing your purpose and for fulfilling it. You have blessed us so deeply, and we are so grateful. Oh, I knew you would bring us to a great place on this topic, and I know that some of us are feeling emotional. I know that a lot has come up, and even those of us who quote unquote know, it's like I know, and yet there's still so much to discover all the time, and there's so many beautiful reminders of the truth and inspiration. And so I wonder if anyone has any questions for Reverend Frida. You can raise your hand, use the raise hand feature on Zoom, and ask Reverend Frida if you have any questions. And if there's no questions, it might be because we're all stunned and grateful. Yeah. Okay.
I just want to know, Alfreda, when you're teaching your workshop. Girl, lady, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm signed up. I'm with Amina and all of that. Jazzmun is just so amazing. And I know it's not a question, but I'm like, I'm ready. I'm signed up for Reverend Alfreda's lady power workshop.
All right.
I call it the lady power workshop.
I love that.
Yeah, and just, I think what's difficult for me very quickly, just as an aside, I don't want to get into a whole narrative about it, is just, I think I am like Amina. Like, I get it as a human, as a person, like nothing you said was like, oh my God, I've never heard this before. I think what the struggle is for me, I won't speak for anybody else, is the social agreement, and what we've all been taught to survive within the community. Whether you're gay or cis or trans or whatever, these survival mechanisms that are really difficult to unlearn. And that's just the observation I'm making, is just the powerful amygdala response of, if you do or don't say something, or do or don't do something, the effects, the ostracization of the group. So while I get that it's an inside job, I have the struggle of navigating it myself within the communities, some of the communities. That's all.
And absolute, you know, whenever you stand on your truth, it always, you know, it always sets you apart from whomever, whether it's society, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends. Once you get to a place where you really begin to recognize that I have to unlearn, or I have to face, or I have to process these things that no longer serve me. That is such of an individual, personal journey to embark upon. And I think what happens is that we don't allow ourselves to begin to focus on the unlearning long enough to recognize the shift in the energy, the shift in the feeling, the shift in the freedom that we will have. It doesn't mean that society is going to change. Doesn't mean that your family and your friends are going to change. But what it means is that you will have the courage and brave enough to change from within, and you will begin to have this sense of peace that you've never had before. And that's what's important, because this is all about you. It's not about society. Might not ever change. Like I realized with my mom, she's deceased, and I made peace with this might be it for her, but I know that life is eternal and that we get an opportunity to do it again and again and again as we see fit. And so change is never for anyone or anybody but you. Change is always what's going to bring me peace of mind. Now, there's one thing that we know this stuff, because we do. Like Anita said, we've heard it, we've read it in many different books. But reading it, it still becomes, it's only words on a page, and you might know it intelligently. You might be in you know, intellect or intelligent or smart enough to understand it. But in order to be it, to go the transformation from it being words on a page to being able to live consciously enough to be able to recognize it when it's happening in your life. It's one thing to know something, it's another thing to experience something. And once we experience it, once we start spotting it, like come off of automatic pilot, and something shows up in your life and you go, wow, start questioning how you are feeling about it, that becomes your second nature. And you just won't say, well, I've always felt that way, or that will never change, or no, it's not about that. It's about the freedom that you will get. First of all, the freedom of recognizing it, that by itself, because most of the times we don't see ourselves. We see other people, but we don't see ourselves. And when you can get to the place where you begin to see yourself and how you are moving through life and moving through society, and recognize when something's not serving you, and begin to choose yourself, to choose your freedom, that whether or not they get it or not, I'm going to choose what's going to work for me, then everything around you will shift, because people will follow your lead, not what you say. I can say all day long, but it's about how do I live and what works for me. And then I'm able to share that. And that's a big difference. So, yes, we read, yes, we study, yes, these are things that we know. But knowing and experiencing, knowing and being is totally two different things. Until you be it, will you find the change in your life, and your mind will be free, and you'll be free enough to still do the work without the expectations. You see what I'm saying? You're still like, I do the work without, soon as this Zoom goes off, I go back to my life. I don't do this work and then take all this, oh, I hope she gets it. I hope he, no. If I got it, all is well.
Thank you, Reverend Frida. Hector typed a question into the chat. He says, what practice do you have when self-doubt takes over?
You know what? Because we are human. We are human. Ooh. And you got to let yourself off the hook because we're human. And we did not come here with like this manual. And we did not come here to be perfect. See, that's the thing, that freedom. Listen, they said those of us that were criticized as children, usually what we do is we express ourselves in life by wanting to be perfect. Because we were criticized, because we were maybe not supported, because no one was there saying, you know, oh my God, you're doing a good job. Usually most of us, you know, we were like, why are you doing that? Don't do that. That's stupid. You're not thinking. Why are you not thinking? I remember my mother used to say, you're not thinking. Why are you not thinking? Which made me an overthinker. I can't even make a move. I would be thinking about it over and over and over again before I would make one step, because she said, you're not thinking. I'm like, oh my God, I got to think. And so we then try to express ourselves by being perfect. And then when things are not perfect, sometimes that just makes us not even move forward on anything, because we want every dot, we want every T to be crossed before we take one step into what it is that we desire. And so when the self-doubt comes in, listen to it. Say, okay, well, why am I doubting myself? Where's that coming from? Am I doubting myself because I'm putting the expectations that it needs to turn out a certain way? Am I doubting myself because it needs to be perfect? Am I doubting myself because, oh my God, here I go again. I can't believe, am I gonna fail at this? You never fail, because you always get something from the experience that you just had. So when the doubt comes in, stop and say, well, okay, I'm doubting. Where's it coming from? Let me, oh, it's doubt. Oh, because maybe, here I go again, instead of, wow, okay, I understand. Yes, okay, yeah, we did that. Girl, you know what? Instead of self-doubt, look at how powerful you are. Because even when it didn't turn out the way that you turned out, we're still on this journey of exploring, of adventure, and of moving on. So question it, see it, feel it. What am I feeling? And when you look at it, I'm telling you, when you really look at it, you'll see it came probably from your childhood, where nobody had faith in you, where your mom didn't praise you, or your dad didn't praise you. But if you be very honest, they were struggling themselves. And they say usually people that are in pain, they bleed on other people. So that's it.